Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Powerhouse Show, live with you every Tuesday night. A very special guest in the middle of here. His name is Jacob PESCE from 203 Junket. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Return guest
Yes. From 2 years ago. Eric Vasquez on your far right. David Lamel here. Thank you so much for being part of our show. And Jacob, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me on. I'm very excited to be here.
Absolutely. So Jacob was on our show, as you just mentioned, Eric, about 2 years ago. A great young man who is a hustler in the business. He is somebody you want to get to know. He's somebody you can trust, and he's somebody who is going above and beyond for his clients every time. And we can speak on that from experience, and we can speak on that from the fact of our clients repeatedly complimenting us, thanking us so much for having a chance to work with you. So if you're out there, you're a realtor, you're an investor, you're a homeowner, you're about to sell your house or get ready to buy a house, and you need removal of junk, this is the guy you want to speak to.
Absolutely.
And let's get to know a little more about him. So you're originally from Cheshire.
Yep.
Right?
Originally from Prospect, moved to
Prospect.
Cheshire, 8th
Okay.
grade. But I'm pretty integrated into the town of Cheshire now, I'd say.
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah, still in Cheshire, yeah.
Got to meet Jacob about maybe 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Jacob, I met through my son Daniel, who said to me, "Dad, you got to meet this guy. He's a guy who really is a hustler and a hard worker, and he's been proving himself every day since the day I met him." So again, I will vouch for him all day long. You'll have an amazing experience, and I definitely recommend you have his contact information. So before we get going with that contact information, Thane, do we have Jacob's cell number on the show? And also, you have different digital platforms you work with, a website or a Facebook page?
So I do have a website that is www.203junketllc.com. We are on Facebook as well. That's just 203 Junket LLC. And the same thing on Instagram as well.
So that is 203junketllc.com.
Yes.
And on Facebook, it's 203 Junket.
203 Junket LLC on Facebook. Yes.
LLC on Facebook as well. Now, how did you get, and now I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask for people to know out there, how did you get involved in the junk removal business?
I first saw the idea online from a YouTube video, and I just thought that it looked extremely interesting, and I felt like it was something right up my alley with some, the type of person I was, and I felt like there was potential to scale this business as well. So that's, I guess, what ultimately led me into, choosing this business.
One of the things I can tell you is a lot of big companies out there, you see them advertising all over the place from TV and commercials, and I will tell you in advance, are very, very expensive. You're going to find a dramatic difference in working with Jacob. Number one, the owner is with you working on the job. Number two, his prices are much less. We'll get that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Let's go into, so do you go anywhere in the state as you're like a place you cut off? Or
we cover all of Connecticut. Really, it's just like going to Fairfield County, we have to charge a fuel surcharge just because it's the only real good way for us to get there is the Merritt, which obviously we can't take our trailers on the Merritt. So we got to take back roads. It's a little bit more tough, but we can definitely cover anywhere in the state. Just there may be a fuel surcharge if you are far from, central Connecticut.
That's an interesting point. You're right. You cannot bring your truck.
So I have to go through Waterbury, get on 84, then take Route 8, and then take Route 8 down to Bridgeport, and then I can, get down, or I guess I could go to New Haven, take 95. It's just not convenient. It's definitely easier, Hartford County, New Haven County.
But you have done work in Fairfield County. I know that you have. And the reason why they hire them out in Fairfield County, because when they get a price for a junket removal, they have to sell a car to get their junk removal done. Where when Jacob comes, it's worth their while and worth their weight in gold. How about that?
Absolutely, yes.
So you do travel throughout this whole state.
Yep.
We've had you on jobs in Hartford and New Haven County.
Yep.
You've been on the shoreline with us. You've been throughout all over the state. Now, if I may ask, how many guys work with you? I didn't get to even question about this, but how many guys do you work with? You don't have a huge crew, right?
No, so it depends on the season. In the summer, I definitely bring on more guys. In the winter, I try to lean it out as much as I can because I don't want to have, guys waiting around and I don't have enough work for them.
Right.
But as we grow, I will keep, having the same amount of employees in the winter. It just, is year dependent.
he's never been an issue for the amount of work you have for him to do based on the size of employees because they are hard working guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's for sure. Do you have a minimum job requirement for someone to come do some job?
No, there is no job too big or small for us. We do have a minimum charge though. There is, no, anytime the truck leaves the house and we have to pick up a guy, there are, set expenses that we have. So 125 is our minimum. That could be, for one couch, for one table, for one thing. That's why it's more price effective for the customer to gather multiple items instead of just having one singular item for pickup. But obviously when emergencies come, there are times you need just something taken away.
Let me give an example. He's come to homes where they have broken appliances, several broken appliances, or things you're getting rid of. They don't want them anymore. We've had where we get to a property, the garage is full of stuff, and he will empty the whole garage. Basements from years of collecting crap
Yeah.
from people that they've just been, taken on from their kids and their families.
Yeah.
You also do demo work.
We do demo work as well. So like basically we could do a full house gut, removing all sheetrock, demoing kitchens, bathrooms, all that type of thing. For exterior stuff, we could do sheds, hot tubs, porches, decks. We can demo like patios or walkways, driveways even, again, all depending on what the need of the customer is.
So
Now,
when you say demo on the driveway, you actually break up the driveway?
We can break up the driveway and get rid of it, yes. Obviously, we don't pour the new asphalt, but in terms of the demo, we can take care of that process.
wow, that's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of physical labor.
Well, it depends on what the driveway is too.
That's true.
Asphalt versus concrete.
Yeah, but we would have a machine on site, so definitely that would aid. We wouldn't do it by hand or anything.
Right.
Like
They sit with a
that.
pickaxe.
No, yeah, exactly. No, right.
Now, how long have you been in business with? For?
Started in 2021, so just about 3 years now. This is my third spring, so I'm definitely excited for this year. I have more knowledge now than I did before, and I feel like I can capitalize on that this year. So I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. You get your name out there in the real estate business. I've been talking to a lot of realtors since the first time you're on the show
Yeah.
that have been working with you, and they've loved the opportunity working with you. And that's why I mentioned realtors, because a lot of realtors, as you know, are involved in property selling and buying. So it's very convenient and very obvious that a realtor will be calling him up and getting work for him. But I also say that to you as a homeowner, you have spring cleanup coming. You probably got a ton of crap in your garage in your house. My wife's probably listening right now going, oh, we should have him come over again. You have things that you have during spring cleaning you to get rid of. Jacob is a great guy to call up to get rid of all this stuff and not have to call your husband and ask him to do it. That it's not going to get done because he is going to play golf or too busy for it. Make it easy on your family. Call up Jacob. Let him come empty your basement, your garage, your things that have been lying around for
It
years.
should be an annual event
It
instead of just doing it after 10 years of stuff
Exactly.
that has accumulated. Just do it every year.
Absolutely
Makes it easier.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Right.
The spring cleanup, Jacob 203 Junket.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like it very much. Let's see. What have been some of the challenges you've had over the last 3 years? I'm sure you've reached a lot of exciting.
Yeah,
things.
there's been a lot. I'd say the biggest challenge that I first faced was not pricing jobs adequately, and then also having too high of expenses. So like that's something I've spent a lot of time figuring out how to lower my expenses on each job in terms of finding dumps that are cheaper for us to dump at, or finding different ways to donate and recycle and just make more of an attempt to donate everything we possibly can. And that has helped cut our expenses enough to where I can manage staying profitable and just.
So the dump is charging you by weight as you come in, right?
The dump charges by weight.
So if
Yes,
you're able to donate before
exactly.
getting to the dump,
Exactly.
you lower the weight, you lower the cost.
And and if you can donate a heavier item, then you save more on that as well. But definitely for like homeowners, if you do have donation items, it would be best to wait till you had 3 or 4 things and then say hey, we have things to donate, and then price from there instead of just doing piece by piece when you find them.
Brings up to another good point. How often we're in a house where people have furniture. It's grandma and grandpa's house. It's nice furniture. It's in good condition.
Yeah.
It just may not be what most people want nowadays that they're going to want to have you leave in their house. So these kind of things would be a great item for donation.
Exactly, right.
And I'm sure when you donate things, you come, they probably love seeing you at the donation places.
Yeah.
And it makes, because if you've owned a home and you need to get rid of things and you try and call a place up to come pick up a couch or something not of convenient to pick up, they're going to charge you heavy for it. And Jacob, here he is doing two things. He's getting stuff out of your home in addition to the fact of taking those items and really donating them where people may have a chance to use them again,
Right.
which is great, great, very nice philanthropic.
I've had a lot of customers tell me that they've tried booking with the Habitat for Humanity to come and pick up their furniture, and they've just been like blown off multiple times from that. And that's because like obviously they're not charging you for that service, so like there's more of a shot that people aren't going to show up. So if you do choose us for that, we will for sure be there on time. Of course, there will be a fee associated with it because we're paying for labor and our fuel and our truck payments and everything. But we can promise that the service it will be A1. You don't have to wait around and not have someone show up.
But more importantly, don't just wait for that one item. Make sure this is a time where you're getting everything done at your house, right? Don't just have them come pick up a couch or a table. There's probably a lot of stuff in your house you can get rid of, and this
It's going to be more cost effective too. Just have it come
100%.
once and get
Right.
everything once.
Exactly
Yes,
right.
exactly.
Let's see. Why should someone hire you in junk removal company versus somebody else?
So
Yeah, not me. You're pointing at me.
I would say like my biggest second competitor other than junk removal
Don't
companies.
say the name.
Right. Well, it's just dumpster companies
Okay.
in general. So with dumpster companies, people sometimes think it's cheaper that they can get like a 15-yard dumpster, put it in their driveway, and do all the labor themselves. But I've had multiple people say that they got the dumpster thinking that it was they were going to be able to get everything out, then realizing the labor was too much for them to handle. So it makes it a lot more convenient for you if you just call a junk removal company. We have the strength, we have the team, and we can just take care of it and make it easier.
So Jacob just brought up a very good point, right? People forget they go and get a dumpster, but now they have to go in and out of a house, up and down stairs. That alone, and if you have any type of back pain, arm pain, leg soreness, arthritis, age-related items, I'm talking about myself specifically, age-related items over here, this is where you need to realize and come to a realization that you don't want to be the one doing this job. And again, I don't want to sound in any way towards husbands, but or your best friends who are going to come over and do this junk removal stuff for pizza and beer. It doesn't work anymore. Nobody wants to get that phone call. Call up somebody you know and trust. Call up Jacob. Let him be the person to help you get rid of all your things. And I guarantee you, while you're doing that, you're going to find even more things. By the way, what if people have things Goodwill or clothing? Or do you stop and drop things off
Yeah,
over there? as well?
absolutely. So if there's clothing, like again, clothing is a little bit easier, and I want to put it out there for people. Like if you just have clothing to donate,
Bags.
there's a lot of different like drop boxes around. Like if in Cheshire, even there's multiple. There's one at CVS near CVS in Cumberland Farms. It says clothing, shoes, whatever, and you just drop donate your stuff for free there. You don't have to pay to get rid of it or anything like that. But if it's like furniture, sofas, stuff like that, it's better to call us because the labor and just that piece of it.
Physical labor enough is the reason to call it.
Right.
I mean, I've had the experience when I was younger of needing to, a friend calls you up, hey, can you help me move some stuff out? But a second time, I'm like, this isn't going to work out very well. I can't, feel my, pushy. It's like, you wish that they would have got somebody else doing it. So definitely, if you're out there and you know somebody looking to get junk removal done, if you need it, again, I keep repeating myself, Jake's a great guy.
Yep. 200 junkie.
2 or 3 junkie. So you mentioned about the dumpster companies. Again, dumpster companies are expensive. Dumpster today to rent is very expensive. It used to be, $300, $400 for a dumpster. Now you're looking at $500 to $1,000 minimum for a dumpster, depending on the size you want to do it.
Right.
Get for yourself over there, and then it's sitting in your driveway, and you got to call them to come pick it up. And by the way, there's
We're
certain
going to put
things,
it on the blocks
right?
so it doesn't mess up your driveway. Because if you get
Hopefully.
asphalt, it's gonna be
Hopefully, right. Sometime,
Yeah. if they remember.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Then you only have it for a period of time.
Right. You actually,
3 days.
yes.
You got 3 days. You got to get everything done in 3 days.
And then if you go over the tonnage that they like allow you, then your card just automatically gets charged. And so like then sometimes people aren't expecting, another charge, and then another charge comes through, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like, I wasn't expecting this, but you signed the contract.
Yeah, don't throw a mattress in there either.
Well,
They will
and
fight.
I was just going to say there's certain items you cannot put in a dumpster,
No
right?
oil, you can't put gas, like you can't
Paint
paint
cans.
paint cans, same thing. Yeah.
So going into those kind of items, now I know you take almost everything.
Yeah.
So is there anything you don't take or can't take?
So if it's like gas in a gas can, unless I could use it for my, the business or something like that, I can't dispose of that anywhere. Paint cans, we could dispose of paint cans. Like I can only take 10 at a time though, because the like you can bring them again. Paint cans is something where it might even make more sense for a homeowner to bring them to the paint store yourself, because you can drop off 5 at a time at, say, like a Sherwin Williams or a Benjamin Moore store, and you don't pay anything, but you can only take 5 at a time.
Don't take a competitor's paint cans.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Really?
because I've dropped off just completely random paint cans before. Yeah, and it's no problem. And if you have oil, same thing. We could take care of that if you have it. There would be, associated fee with that. But also, you can bring that yourself down to AutoZone. They take that for free. You just have to write your name and the date, whatever. So there is things that general homeowners don't know as well that I want to, easy things that want to
Sure.
make more. Yeah, to share exactly.
I like that. That's good stuff, man. Good information to know as a homeowner what you can and can't do. Speaking of oils and cans, I'm not sure if you know the answer to this question, but oil in a can, or the thing that you hold, what is that? It's considered a can. It's
Like
plastic.
after you've drained it out of a car, you're
No,
saying?
oil that you buy, let's say for your generator, you put in those big jugs. For your,
Oh, okay, like the 5 quart jug
Yeah.
of oil. Okay.
So if you how long do you know how long that oil lasts?
I don't know. Like if it was, say, like in a machine, or you're
No,
saying like
in a jug, sealed.
and like last till like, say, like starts like going bad or
I don't
whatever.
know if you had
I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, I'm not entirely sure.
just figured I'd ask that question. And you know the question that answers that question there.
That, yeah.
If anybody's out there has any questions for us here with Jacob, please feel free to ask. If you know Jacob, you've worked with Jacob before, love to get compliments. Let's talk about the different sites you're on. So you mentioned Facebook.
On Facebook, I've been recently posting a lot more on there, trying to post videos and like that show what we do day to day operations, because obviously a lot of people don't know. Try to post as much pictures as possible from jobs on there. And
Is your truck or your what's it called, the pickup truck,
the trailer.
the trailer?
Yeah.
Is there a picture of the trailer?
I believe there is a picture of the truck and trailer on Facebook, but there's multiple on my website. So on my website, there's a lot more.
Why do you need to see the trailer?
Well, because people have an idea of the size of what's being put on there. So, like, the next question for you was, how big is your trailer, and how much, as far as can fit on a trailer, like quantity of items, tons of items can fit on there.
Yeah.
But the space that it needs to fit into, you kind
So
of
you had mentioned
agenda.
that there's a cubic footage.
Yeah, I figured out a better way to. Yeah, so basically, the trailer's 15 cubic yards. To give reference for how much items could fill our trailer.
Length by width by height.
Okay, so the length is 14 feet, the width is 7 feet, and the walls are 4 feet tall. We have a tarp that goes over the top. We can't fill above the sides of the wall, though, of course. But a good way to try to understand how big the trailer is. One washing machine is 1 cubic yard, and my trailer's 15 cubic yards, so you could fit roughly 15 washing machines in the trailer, stacked up.
So in comparison to the smallest of the containers,
Yeah.
how big?
So if you were to rent like I guess you can get like probably a 10-yard dumpster from.
Because they use yards.
Yeah,
Right.
like they use yards, right? They can get a 10-yard dumpster that will still probably end up being like $325. I mean, maybe in the high 200s, but that's still a fair amount smaller than our trailer. So we can break down items, so we can make more space in our trailer. Whereas if you rent a dumpster, they're not on site, so
That's a really good point you make, because
Yeah.
you definitely do that breaking down of items
Yeah.
to fit more items on the truck.
Mhm.
You are definitely one, I'll call it Jenga. When it comes to like fitting items in, you definitely fit. When you see a truck full, you can't believe how many things are on that
It's
truck.
loaded, yeah.
I mean, they pack it really,
Yeah, but
really
it's how you
well.
put it in.
Right.
It's how you put it in. It's like a giant game of Tetris.
Exactly.
Trying to fit
Tetris,
everything
yes,
in there.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Jenga is the wrong word. Tetris is the right word. That's actually right. Tetris.
So, like for example, companies like our bigger competitors, they a lot of times have rules against breaking down items, because like it could be dangerous if not done properly, whatever.
Well, they also want to because they want to take up as much space as possible.
Exactly. That's really the true reasoning
Yeah.
of why they
It's
don't.
for them.
Exactly.
It's more convenient just to throw at you all. You filled up this much space,
Yeah. Right.
as opposed to what you're doing.
Right.
And it's is there any weight as far as weight to the truck? Like if you say, you mentioned 15 washers and dryers, right?
Mhm.
That's a lot of weight to it. So it doesn't matter how much weight you have to it with your truck being
Still
filled.
not that heavy.
Right. Like I mean,
Where a dumpster is going to have a weight requirement. You can only have so much weight to it, also.
right. So like the max amount of weight my trailer could hold is 10,000 pounds. We don't normally get anywhere near that, but for jobs if we're moving, concrete or we've done multiple chimney removals and like that's a ton of bricks and that ends up being close to that weight. So again, we try not to that capacity just because it's not good for your truck and whatnot. It just puts a lot more stress, but we can definitely haul a significant amount of weight. Absolutely.
Tetris. I'm not sure if a lot of people out there know what Tetris is.
These guys don't.
I was going to say, is that a game that people still play Tetris? You know, Tetris.
I do know what Tetris. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It was on like my first phone. When
Yeah,
I had like
that's-
one of those
They
flip
know what it
phones.
is.
Yeah, it's getting the pieces to move the right way.
Yep.
Tetris. I mean,
Exactly.
Tetris. He plays Tetris with his with
All
his
day.
trailer.
All day.
Absolutely. Now, when you get to a property, we've had you do this before. Other homes have had this done before. You get to a property, and a lot of, let's say, maybe dead bushes or bushes around a property, and you want to have a landscape design done. Maybe you want to call up our friend Nick Cavadas and have a nice landscaping done to your property. He's a great guy, but you want to get over there, Jacob, in there first to remove all the shrubs and everything around the house.
We could
That's-
basically give you a clean slate so that when you have that next guy come in, he can make the plans and it's less work on his end.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. We were talking about, we've seen it where we see a house and it's a really gorgeous house, but they've got a 170-year-old shed in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Moss on the roof and all of that. Just want it torn down.
And that's actually something you can do as well.
And
Yes,
sometimes it gets grown over with vegetation.
Right.
So
No matter what the case is, we can take care of any type of shed. We can take care of like detached garages as well. Again, it's all job dependent. So the best way to get in touch with us is just give me a call, explain what the job is, and then I'll either tell you to send pictures or we will schedule time to take a look at it in person. We go from
Most of the time, you definitely come in person. I think it's
Yeah.
that way too because
It is.
they get to meet you in person and you are, and then also sometimes an explanation from a client as opposed to what you see in person can be much different.
Yeah,
Photos can
definitely.
help also getting an ID before you get there to what's being done.
Yeah, photos help. They could be deceiving too. It all depends on the angle, how the person takes the photo, the
Right.
lighting, all of it. If they have a tarp over the stuff, I
Right.
mean, it all
There's
depends.
not a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, right. The tried and true way is to definitely go there in person. But a lot of times, some people, feel a little pressured by that, so they would prefer to just do it over the phone. And that's fine by them.
it's from like a mile away.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a little dot.
exactly. That too.
Is that the shit over there?
Right.
All right. So you also work on commercial properties as well.
Yes, we do.
People who own maybe a commercial strip, maybe even a condo complex where there needs to be junk removal or,
Yep.
or trash from a property
For multifamily.
or
Multi-families
That's a
too.
really good point. So people who own multifamilies.
I know one of my clients probably has about 6 or 7 refrigerators in the garage
They got to
from
go.
previous tenants.
Right.
No one comes in, the other one goes in the garage.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's another good point.
So-
So if you own commercial property and you're looking for somebody to get rid of the stuff that needs to be rid of because it's been sitting there for so long, again, call Jacob at 203 Junket.
When he says stuff, he's trying to use a
Yeah,
Word.
G-rated word.
G-rated word.
Right.
Exactly.
It's hard to come up with terms for the junk removal. There's like not a good jargon for it.
Right.
You just end up saying things, stuff, things like that.
Crap.
Right.
Junk.
That's what it is.
And getting back to the pricing of your jobs. Now, again, it's very hard, maybe unless you go to the website now or you're on Facebook and you have a chance to go to his page and see what it looks like for a truck. You have a picture in front of you.
Yeah. So
Is that picture on your website right
this
there?
is on the website. So when you visit our website, if you click on the pricing portion of it, it will show you a picture of our trailer and the truck right there. And then again, I have a few examples of like how to get a better idea of the size of the trailer and whatnot. And then the load price. Again, something a little different from our competitors. Most of our competitors don't publicly post their prices on their website, as they are fairly high and scare away a lot of people.
I'm going to
So
just tell you, just to give you an example, a full truck removal of your load, a full load,
yes,
is $745.
yes,
I will guarantee you the dumpster itself costs at least that's that much money, and you have to physically put the stuff into the dumpster back and forth.
right,
So that's just a perspective of what you're looking at here. So if you have a guy coming into your house and he's giving you half a load and he's charging you $400, that is again more than a dumpster is probably going to fit the size dumpster. The dumpster, a small dumpster, you're looking at $300 probably at least for a small dumpster,
yeah,
and you still have to physically bring the stuff out to a dumpster
do
to
the
bring it out.
labor. Yep.
So without question, when you have a job to do, the labor alone, the time being worked on, when he comes to your house, you're just pointing. You might even have
Yeah.
things that are kind of tagged as to what to take and not to take. Anybody else has a question out there? Any kind of comments? Okay. Jacob, you are an amazing guy. I'm very proud of you. I'm very not only proud of you, but I'm also, I feel like, I've seen you go through the phases and I've seen how hard you work. So that is, and the proudness comes from also the clients who've been talking about you through the years, who you compliment us because we bring them out to a job or give them to a client, and what they have to say afterwards is, this guy, him and his guys were amazing. They came in, they were on time, they cleaned up everything, they did above and beyond. They got rid of all my stuff that I've had here for years. I can't believe things work. I can't believe how much stuff they fit on the truck, right? Um, are there any items did you mention that you cannot keep to the mattress?
We could take mattresses,
Computers,
computer electronics,
tires,
tires. We could take construction debris. We could even take like old propane tanks. Really, we could take
oil tanks.
old oil tanks from your house. Yes, exactly.
You have removed oil tanks from property as well, correct?
Yes, we have. We've done that a few times.
You need an oil tank removed from your house, your basement. That's another great item that is very tough to find someone to do that.
Yes.
So you mentioned something about demo on the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
So what happens to the plumbing aspect of that? You have a guy that can cap everything off.
So that's right. Like that's something I'll try to coordinate with the homeowner ahead of time. Generally, they already will have like say like a general contractor like overseeing the whole job, and then they will reach out to us and say, "Hey, can you take care of the floor, the cabinets, the sheetrock in the kitchen, whatever?" And then we will go ahead and do that. But like in terms of like we don't touch any of the plumbing or the electrical, but all the sheetrock, flooring, ceiling. And obviously we can like take off all the electrical fixtures and that type of thing. But yeah, like for most of our jobs, it's generally through like a general contractor. Then we'll say, hey, can you just do the demo portion of this job?
Yeah, I was talking more like finishing everything on the cabinets and.
Yeah, so like with that, we would just go in, take care of all that. With the plumbing, we just work around it, use saws to cut the cabinets, around the plumbing, pull it off, and then it just sits right there. And like say for a kitchen sink, we'll just close the valves, and then we won't touch it. And then the remodeler, whoever it is, will come in next and take care of that.
Usually 2 valves and then.
Yeah, and just shut it off, and that's
Nothing will
it.
come up.
Yeah, right. Just connect in the sink, and then that's it. Everything else stays.
Maybe you had a basement that had some issues. Maybe water happened. You had to have a basement gutted. Another great guy to have on your hands for basement gutting, or we had some issues that happened that we had to have taken care of. Not a fun time in your life when that happens, but most importantly is you have somebody you can call to take care of the problem. And the bigger the job, the better the price.
Yeah, it works out better for the customer for sure if you have more items rather than just like one thing. Like I was saying before.
You said that, I thought to myself, I should have called Jacob to cut from the walls because they cut half of it.
Yep.
What happened is the contractors come in because then the insurance company comes in and yada yada. Have you been dealing with insurance companies yet at all?
I have not. No,
and that might be something we'll tap into also. Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jacob Pesch, 203 Junket. He got a call for all your junk removal needs. Again, homeowners, realtors, investors, property or commercial owners, et cetera. He does it all. Great guy, great team. You're not going to want to miss him. 203junketllc.com, 203 Junket LLC on Facebook.
What's the number?
And the phone number for Jacob is
203-872-7089. Call or text anytime, and we'll get back to you as soon as
I know
possible.
now you'll get a voicemail.
Yes,
we have a voicemail set up on the phone, which we had
Yes.
some technical issues with.
it's all set now.
203 872 7089.
It was
That's
recorded
correct.
here.
Yep. We recorded here in the studio. Yeah.
Recorded here.
Live.
Yep.
All right. Next part of our show, we're going to give out free a tumbler, which Jacob is showing over here.
Proudly displaying.
Proud to
Yes.
display. Yeah. This is our new tumbler giveaway for you all. Black and pink. And if you want one, please let us know. Get on our spinner wheel. We'll throw a message over here to us. Let us know who you are, your name, your phone number, email, etc.
Rhiannon, 1275.
Rihanna. Rihanna.
Rhiannon.
Really?
Rhiannon.
That's
Not
a
like
great song.
I was going to say.
Instagram.
Rhiannon from Instagram, thank you so much for being a part of our show. Please reach out to us because we don't have your contact information so we can get you this tumbler. And if you know Rhiannon, let him know or her know.
Sure.
And let's make sure we get this tumbler to them. Thank you so much again for being a part of our show every week. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Eric, always a pleasure to have you with me on the show. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. We've got our next 5-6 weeks. We are jam-packed with guests. It's going to be very exciting. Do not miss a show.
Yeah,
It'll be a
we're
lot
trying
of
to make
fun.
them all.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.